Greetings to everyone world over. It's a green morning, green afternoon, green evening. Hearty welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the globe in different countries, in different time zones, in different continents. It's a great pleasure to meet all of you. It's a beautiful Saturday evening somewhere, Saturday morning somewhere, Saturday afternoon somewhere. We extend a very hearty welcome to Father Bivan Rodrigues. And the moment word comes Rodrigues to my mind, I remember General Rodrigues, Chief of Army Staff. Mr. Ajay Paul Somwashiji, Madam Chanchan Wahagam, and of course, Mr. Tyrone D. Brass, our advisor for education in northeast part of India. So Saturday, 26 February 2022, 8 p.m., we extend a warm welcome. And it's a pleasure to share with all of you that during this pandemic, today is the 1466th webinar. That means we have done 1465 webinars already. And it's a pleasure to share with all of you that like doctors, nurses, paramedical people, they all were focusing to save every life. We were also trying to give oxygen to every student, every teacher, every educator, every counselor, anybody whosoever is in the education ecosystem. Our chamber took a pledge that during this pandemic, we will work in the direction making education relevant. So welcome to Northeast India Educators Forum. Our focus is teachers and youth empowerment. And of course, education and skills, they go head to heart and heart to hands. And we move with that wonderful journey. Chamber is deeply associated with non-resident Indians, Indian diaspora. Those are world over, 31 million plus people abroad in different countries. It's indeed a great pleasure. We are dealing with the services sector. We are exclusively focusing on services. When you talk about services, health, wellness, tourism, hospitality, airlines, media, entertainment, radio, television, theater, music, films, animation, digital, IT, ITS, education, all that is a verticals of services sector. And we are really happy. Our chamber came into existence in 1994. And right from that time onward, we are focusing on networking through the finishing school world over. We brought India's first finishing school for service industry way back in 1994. And I'm proud to share with all of us that more than 52,000 youth and 35,000 teachers, they've gone through the process and the program. And here are the wonderful children from Northeast, including in way back 2000, 2001, 2002, we had 500 children program, which was handled through the Northeast Council exclusively for Meghalaya. Of course, we had similar kind of a figure and total 2,500 youth being given to us, and they all are overseas in different countries today. Ministry of Education, which is the new name given to Ministry of HRD, after the new education policy 2020 seeped in, we have got under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, 37 sector skill councils. These 37 sector skill councils are doing wonderful job and we are deeply associated with them. We are doing lots of programs and our efforts are how free of cost the children of the Northeast should be helped. And during this pandemic, this beautiful journey, what you can see right from 25th of March, is focused on teachers and youth. The only difference what it has made is during this pandemic, we have gone totally digital and the brick and mortar finishing school, which was a part of RUSA, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, now it has got converted into inspirational lab, total digital, and where we try to reach out world over. And our philosophy is why education should not be relevant to my day-to-day life and day-to-day living. Education, skills, micro, small, and medium enterprise, they all are inseparable. Tomorrow morning, 9:30, you'll meet our president, because our chamber always has a president from abroad, and they are Indians, those are staying abroad. Professor Satyendra Dhiman, presently our president, he's at the Woodbury University, Burbank, California, Los Angeles. Tomorrow morning, 9:30, he'll be talking about holistic leadership. Tomorrow, 11:30, we will talk about film tourism. And tomorrow night, with the non-resident Indians, we'll have dental tourism in Chandigarh. So we are very happy that we have brought non-resident Indian, those are in United States, their investment has come to India as well. And there's a concept of dental tourism. If you take care of your dental system, you can really avoid lots of disease and lots of problems, because this mouth and this denture and this system, it creates a lot of difficulties. So this program would be very interesting for all of us. We must enjoy it tomorrow night. So let's move ahead. There's also a concept I wish to share with all of you, which we have started, and I wish to have similar program in Northeast India as well. What we are doing is that every Monday evening, we bring one of the decorated soldiers, we bring the eminent people, those are above 65 years of age, and they talk about their lifetime journey, lifetime story. It's called Human Library. It started from Denmark way back 2000, and 22 years have gone by. And also on Tuesday, if you are interested to get the skills, if you want to be a good teacher, good educator, good trainer, good counselor, then we are going to talk about 101 skills. That is coming up on Monday evening. Like every day, 8 p.m., you have got a program. Tomorrow is dental tourism. Monday evening, you have got human library. And Tuesday, that is going to be the next day. Of course, it is shown over here on Monday, but it is changed over to Tuesday. Now, let me just move ahead. 4th of March, there is a 7-hour program coming from world over. Our chamber is organizing international virtual conference, How to Be Happy All the Times, Mental Health and Wellness, which is required by students and teachers in the post-pandemic world. Let's go to Napoleon Hill. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. No more competition. It's a collaboration, making education and skill relevant. This program is going live, and we extend a very hearty welcome to our today's distinguished guests, and join me in extending a very warm welcome to have all of them with us. And we take on the journey from here, ladies and gentlemen. And while extending a very warm welcome, it's Mr. Tyrone D. Brass-Shaw. He is the person who is in charge, who is taking care of this program. I would request Mr. Tyrone to take on the journey from here onwards. And I would request him, we invite Madam Chanchan. Initially, let her speak. What is she doing? What exactly is her contribution to education? She can talk on from Manipur, whatever she wishes to make education further relevant for all of us. And with these words, once again, a very warm welcome, hearty welcome, pleasure to have all of you. And I request Mr. Tyrone to take on the onward journey, please. You got to unmute your mic, Mr. Tyrone.
Thank you, Doctor.
Zoom has yet to invent how to speak while you're muted. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Doctor, for that lovely introduction. And welcome, Madam Chanchan, Father Bivin Rodrigues Mukhim, Principal of Don Bosco College, Tura, and Mr. Ajay Pal Singh from Vashi of NSTI, Tura, who's along with the NEP 2020, skill development is so important. I now call upon Ma'am Chanchan Waheng Bam to speak a few words about what is happening in Manipur, especially with Beti Parao, Beti Bachao. Ma'am, let's hear your words of your work in Manipur. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Tyrone, sir. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt greetings to one and all present here. Thank you very much. My name is Chanchan Wahengum. Of course, Sarah have already introduced me, and I am a research scholar at Manipur University, also serves as a guest faculty at a private university called Birtikendra Jet University. It was newly established in the year 2020 only. And actually, I'm very delighted that I am given the opportunity to attend the lectures to be delivered by the esteemed personalities here. Thank you very much for that. And for this, I have to thank particularly Dr. Goshen sir for giving me this opportunity, and of course, Dr. Taruan sir for organizing this, one of the most important, organizer of ICS are making it, 1,466, webinars being organized. It's not, a simple thing. It's a big achievement, and I'm very thankful to ICSR for giving us this opportunity, the youths like us, to explore the world, the lectures, the ideas to be shared by the personalities that ICSR is making it possible to happen every day. Thank you very much for that. So, as I'm given the opportunity to share a few words on my experience of, I would like to talk more on, the importance of education in women's empowerment. Uh, because I am a woman, and we already know that women's empowerment is one of the most talked about subject matter globally. So to start with, I would say that the status of development of a society is mirrored in the status of women, because status of women reflects the social and economic inequalities in our society. The status of women has become an index of development of every country on a global scale. So the major step, to the realization of development of a society, while overcoming the struggles against the demographic problems, it is the involvement, the major step is the involvement of women as participants and beneficiaries of development. They must participate fully in the decision making processes that affects their life. So this implies the importance of inevitable need to empower women. And as I have already said, that women's empowerment, in this present era has become one of the most talked about subject matter globally. And what we generally understand by a women's empowerment is, women's participation in decision-making process, both in at our homes and in the public domain. So, in order to, what we need is to enhance the decision making ability of a women, at the same time, of course, to occupy the decision making position. Educating a woman, women's education is a must. Education plays a vital role here. To empower women, education plays a vital role. We already know that education is the basic right of every individual. It's the basic right of every individual. Education makes us understand the value of life. Through education, we acquire knowledge, and by implementing these knowledge or the intellectual gains that we have made, we bring about positive changes in a person's life and behavior, thereby developing their personalities. Education, we know it helps us to broaden our, excuse me, it helps us to broaden our horizon. It shows us, it points out that there, education points out, shows us that there is so much in the world that we need to see, that we need to explore, that we need to learn. So it helps us at the same time, on the other hand, it also helps us, to know the potential, discover the potential that we have in us, what we, This is very interesting because education shows us what we need to explore, at the same time what we have within us. At the same time, what education does is education furnishes, it furnishes the means, it provides us the means to fill up, to provide, or to fill up what is lacking in us or in the society, and at the same also, optimize the potential, bringing out the best of a person. So education, it is very essential for a person's development. And through education, we already know that education helps a person, helps us to differentiate between right and wrong. And coming to the context of women, I would say that through education, women are becomes more well aware of the rights they are entitled to. Not only the rights, but also the duties, the bounden duties that they are to fulfill. The duties, to oneself, to family, to the society. We should include the duty to others also as a part of duty to oneself. We should not forget the duties to others while trying to, fulfill the duty to oneself. It should go, rights and duties should go hand in hand. We cannot just go on claiming our rights without performing our duties, or we cannot just keep on doing our duties without knowing what actually the rights that are entitled to us. For example, the women, those who are confined in the four walls, they consider it as their responsibility, their sole duty to run the family, whether they like it or not, to some extent, or to some instances. Of course, we women do feel sometimes that we need to get out of here, and do something for ourselves. But it happens that, they consider it as a duty for themselves, sole duty for them to fulfill the responsibilities of the family, while ignoring the life or self development. So that kind of, focusing only on duties, ignoring the rights that they are entitled to, that should not go. Like, rights and duties should go hand in hand. And education, enables, this is why education is very important. Education enables women to uh, develop or improve, her ability to communicate with people, and increased her rate of civic participation. Not only, improving her ability to communicate, but increases her rate of civic participation, which is very important, raising their voice and asserting their opinion with, confidence. Confidence is very important. To develop one's confidence, education is very much needed. So it is said that, as I have already said earlier too, that so sorry, excuse me, I need to drink some water.
We have to encourage youngsters all the time, because these young boys and girls are today and they are tomorrow. They are today, they are present, and they are future. Every young boy and a girl, we should encourage the best possible way. Tomorrow, when they become young teachers, they become counselors, they become research scholars, and whenever they join the education ecosystem, our effort, I personally feel, as an elder should be to bring more and more youngsters in the fold of the education, committed educators, committed scholars, and committed counselors. Those can really shape a better future tomorrow. So after your glass of water or few sips, we extend you a warm welcome once again. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So I have some problem with my throat. That is why I'm so sorry that I have to, got interrupted in between. So, to, continuing, we have already known that the women's the major indicator of women's empowerment. It is the participation in decision-making process. Of course, we are all very aware of that. But what is more important is equitable representation in the process. Equitable representation in the process of decision making. It's it is a major indicator of women's empowerment. This can be either at home or in the society. For example, as a political representation. So we know that women are actively involved in household and community work, so no doubt that they are well aware of the real issues faced by common people. So it is very much essential to involve women in government, for they have different needs and different perspectives on social and political issues, and to incorporate all the societal viewpoints in policy and decision making process. It is very important for women's participation in the government, or say in the decision making processes. And to be able to make women, take a significant role in decision making process, here comes the importance of education, as I have already mentioned in the earlier. So education in every sphere, we come to realize that education is the essence of every development, personal or societal development, that is happening in the in the world at large, we can say. So on the other hand, just educating women, it also has a significant impact on the health and economic future of women. We already know that health status of women has now occupied a cardinal objective, a cardinal objective for the policymakers in every country. So, because the health status of women is also an indicator of how much, the society is developing. And another context is, the educating women also increases, how it affects, or say how it influences the economic future of women is, educating women increases the earning potential of women, thus alleviating the poverty and improving the living standard for herself and her family. These are, all these benefits that we get, that is we women get from educating ourselves, is not just a benefit meant for ourselves, for we women only. It is more like, it is a benefits, and it benefits and improves the the prospects of the society at large.
All right. Ma'am, uh,
Yes, sir.
the points you have raised are extremely relevant. And if you look at the HDI indexes, whether it's
Yes.
Kerala, Mizoram, Tripura, maybe Manipur as well,
Mm,
where women have found their due place, these states have excelled tremendously. So what I've realized is that all the points you've raised are truly relevant, and I wish, we do have these policies in the government, whether central or state. If these policies are implemented properly, I'm sure
mm.
India will find its rightful place. Can,
Yes, sir.
can I come back to you a little later? I'd like to bring in Father Mukim.
Yes, I would love
Yeah,
to do that.
yeah,
Yes, sir. I'll be glad, sir.
right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Father Bibin Mukim.
Yes, good
Yeah.
evening.
Good evening, Father. It's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Don Bosco started way back in 1986, and
87.
87, yes. And before that, we just had one college in the entire state, in the entire district, the government college. And then came the Don Bosco under Father Syriac, and subsequently it's grown in leaps and bounds. And under your leadership, it's even got a good ranking from NAC. Would you like to tell us a little more about the NAC rating of Don Bosco College, Tura?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much to Mr. Tyrone D. Brass for inviting me to be part of this program, a webinar conducted by the ICSI, International Chamber for Science Industry, Service and Industry. Now, I was, no, as soon as you asked me, I was very glad to be part of it. Something about Don Bosco, especially with regard to NAC. As you know, NAC stands for National Assessment and Accreditation Council. It's all now with the NEP, the National Education Policy 2020. They have made it compulsory that all colleges, whether it is a small college or a big college, whether it is a rural college or an urban college, everybody have to go for accreditation. We had gone for an accreditation earlier. Now, actually, it's going to be expired, but we are working towards it. It was not a good score, but compared to a college like Tura, getting 2.4, it's something that is good, though it was only a B ranking, B score. We are planning actually to even do better. So the thing was, right now what the government is asking, especially NAC is asking, is that everything that you upload should be the same. Now, everything that we have uploaded is in public domain, is in our website. And we have also uploaded, for example, we speak about the ACAR, Annual Quality Assurance Report of each year. That has to tally with the ICSII report, that All India Survey for Higher Education. And if there is any differences between what we have uploaded in ICSII, what we have uploaded in ACAR, what we have uploaded maybe in the NIRF, even if there is a small differences between that, we will be taken to task. For example, if the difference is 10%, they may ask us to make some changes. But if it goes beyond 30%, we will be blacklisted. So everything that we do, we have to be very careful. For example, 28 is the last date for uploading of ICSII and the report that we have. ACAR, they have extended again to March. NIRF, we have just uploaded. And we have to be very careful because there are so many things that we need to upload, whether the teachers, the number of teachers. Suppose if in ICSII, my total number of teachers is 69, while in ACAR it is only 68. There's a difference between one staff. And as a consequence of it, I will have maybe a differences of maybe 2% or 3%. I can be forgiven provided I make the corrections. But if it is more than that, I will be. So one of the important aspects that we have done, especially with regard to NAC, is that we have divided into different committees. And we have in the college altogether 36 committees, and each of the committees are for one or the other important aspect that they have to keep in mind. And as you know that in NAC, there are 7 criteria. The number 1 is curricular aspect, and there is a coordinator who takes care of the curricular aspect. Then we have the teaching, learning, and evaluation, in which one teacher and the committee in charge of only teaching, learning, and evaluation. Then we have the major chunk, which is the 3rd aspect, that is on research, innovation, and extension, which carries almost 250 points or marks, as we could say it. There we have another committee in charge of it. Then the 4th criteria, which is on infrastructure and learning resources, we have a committee to take care of these. Then we have the student support and progression, which is the 5th criteria. And then the 6th criteria, governance, leadership, and management, managed by a committee. And then the last criteria, which is on institutional values and best practices. And we also have a committee to take care of this. And we meet practically every week with regard to the criteria coordinators, as well the IQAC, internal quality assurance cell coordinators, and the principal, vice principal, in order to sort out what are the programs that we have done during the entire week. For example, now the government is asking us, especially now, that whenever we have any program, we have to take the signature of the students, the participants, because if I upload, there were 150 participants, but I have to show the proof that there are 150 participants. So what is important is a photograph plus also the signature of the participants. So basically to say that, we are moving in a progress way. And so because of that, we have to also be very careful when it comes to NAC. It's tough, it's difficult, but I know with a group of committed staff, we will be able to take forward to go for the 2nd cycle of NAC. Yes, over to you, Mr. Tiger.
That's wonderful, Father. And I've seen your college grow, ever since it started, and it's just getting better and better under your leadership.
Thank you.
And since you told us so much about NAC, I think I know a little more now than what I knew yesterday. Father, running a college in Garo Hills, okay, in Tura, has challenges. Would you like to share some of the challenges that you do face?
Yes, thank you. First of all, one of the most the big challenge that we encounter here at Don Bosco College, as we know, that Tura is not a big city, it's a little bigger town, we could say, or a small city, we could say. The students of our college are basically from rural areas, because it all happened. The students who are basically from Tura like to go and study either in Shillong or in Guwahati or Bangalore or other metros. And so we have students who come mostly from the rural areas, from the border areas. That is one challenge. And most of them are first generation learners. Their parents may be not educated, and they are just sending their children to be the first generation learners. So that is the major challenge that we have with regard to the students. Infrastructure wise, we have no problem. We have got a good infrastructure. In terms of teachers, we do have teachers who are either, who are either net qualified, who are qualified. We have teachers. But then another important challenge that I can bring here is with regard to the help that we receive from the government. When you look in the state of Meghalaya, most of the colleges that are getting the government grants, getting help from the government, are mostly Shillong-based colleges. And so there's so much of distinction between those colleges who are in Shillong and those who are in other parts of Meghalaya. Let me give you an example. Out of 600 sanctioned posts, that UGC posts which are paid by the government, only 60 or hardly 60 posts are in Garo Hills. The large chunk of it are for colleges in Shillong. First of all, if you look at Shillong, people are well-to-do. They have money to pay for the educational, for their studies. But the government, instead of helping other deserving colleges or other districts of the state of Meghalaya, they help basically those who are already having money to do their studies, etc. So this is also another problem. So I have most of the time teachers whom I have taken, they work for a year or two, and when they get a better offer from other colleges or they get a government job, they move over. So stability of the teaching faculty is another big problem that we have. Apart from that, we do not have any interference from the NGOs or interference from the general public. We don't have that. But one important aspect that I see after being here for almost 6 years is that the students themselves are very sincere. They are very sincere. They want to learn. As I said, they are first generation learners, but always ready to learn. And when we are able to offer them that opportunity to them to learn, they are willing to do that. Yeah.
You've come out with some rather startling facts about only 60 posts available here in Garo Hills. Yeah. And we are playing catch up constantly. Garo Hills is playing catch up. That's and right. I wish we have the Chief Minister from Garo Hills. We have a lot of other key ministries from Garo Hills, ministers from here. So they need to understand that Garo Hills needs to develop much faster. I wish they can give a little more attention in the field of education here in Garo Hills.
Can I add something more? This came into my mind just now. For example, recently the government has given more sanctioned posts. And to tell you frankly, from 2017 onwards, I have been approaching the government in order to grant us maybe, if not sanctioned posts, UGC scale, give us at least a government scale or ad hoc scale. And the government has recently given to some colleges, but I realized that they have given again to only 22 posts in Garo Hills, colleges in Garo Hills, which have just started, which are not even, which have not even established themselves well. But then the deserving colleges, which have been there for the last, say, 10 years, 12 years, have not received any help from the government or grant from the government. And again, secondly, out of the help that they have given, most of the colleges who are actually in Shillong and other metros receive the help and not Garo Hills. It could be because, in Meghalaya, there is this reservation policy that happened. And they know that even if they don't give the grant to the Garo Hills, they will give a job because of that policy that is there, the reservation policy, which I think now people have become aware of it. And they said, we don't want this reservation policy. What we need is you give us according to our merit. I think the government should understand that. Yeah.
That's right, Father. I think we must take this up with the education minister and maybe have a meeting with Mr. Conrad Sangma. I think it's very important what you brought up this evening.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Father. You would like to add a little more about your value education that you mentioned earlier?
Yes, yeah. I think I wanted to speak something on that. 2 points that I always have in mind, and which we also in the college try to follow now, is one is to have what they call an education that has something to do with skilling. I have worked in an education before my appointment here as a principal. I work in a skill development center in Guwahati, where I feel that skilling has become part and parcel of everybody's life, whether he is a student, whether he is a dropout, or even an adult. Now, the thing is, I work in this institute in Don Bosco Institute there in Kharguli, where we give skill training to school dropouts. It's a government project under the Assam skill training. And we give them a training in some of the industry. For example, we give them in hospitality, housekeeping, then food and beverage, refrigeration, as well as AC repairing. And after the training that we give them for 3 months, we give them a placement. And to tell you, we have achieved a placement of almost 80%. We have trained almost 7,000 young boys and girls, giving them a placement, achieving a placement record of almost 80%. And there are some of them who still continue. I left the institute now almost going to be 6 years. There are some students who are still in their placement. They are still working because they are drawing a salary of almost like 25 to 30,000. In the same institute, we also have the Don Bosco Institute of Management, where students study for their MBA. And after they have completed their MBA, they get a placement, maybe as some corporate salesperson, or it could be sometimes, sorry, even as bank salesperson. And they are drawing a salary which is less than these students who are already dropped out and getting a skill training. I think what is important now is skilling, especially in education. So that is what we are trying in our institute, to have education and at the same time to give them also the skills that is needed. Recently, I met a group of people who came to my office to speak about, the rubber technology and how they are not from the rubber board, but from institute based on rubber technology. And they have implemented a syllabus in Tripura University, which they also wanted to bring here, sorry, in Garo Hills, especially in Don Bosco, because we also have a rubber garden where they will take our students. They have a syllabus where they follow and then give them the training. At the same time, they do their studies, their degree studies, and get also this training in rubber technology. And after their graduation, they are taken for job in some of the industries and the placement will be given by them. So I'm very much appreciative of this initiative that they wanted to take, and we were trying to go about with it. Now we need to only get the NOC from the university, affiliated university, and if they ask us to go ahead with it, then we will go for this. So one important aspect is skilling in education. Another one is with regard to value education. We have introduced a course in our college known as value education, where the students are taught values. Because I realize that, we may have the education, but if we do not have the values with us, whether it is a soft skill values or hard skill values, it is of no use. So value education is very important. And as I was thinking of this, I'm reminded of that letter that was written by one person, and I will just read that. He says, "Dear teacher, I am a survivor of the concentration camp. My eyes saw what no man should witness: gas chamber built by learned engineers, children poisoned by educated physicians, infant killed by trained nurses, women and babies shot and burned by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is to help your students become human. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, educated ants-men. Reading, writing, and arithmetic are important only if they serve to make our children more human." I think that is very important for us. We want to make our students, especially in education, more human. And so I feel value education should help the students to become better person. That's all.
Wonderful, Father, for that insightful view that you just mentioned about what happened during the Second World War. And talking about skills and value education must go hand in hand for making a better human being. Thank you, Father, for that lovely talk.
Thank you.
I'd like now to call upon Mr. Ajaypal Singh Sombashi from National Skill Training Institute, Tura. Mr. Ajaypal Singh, are you there?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr.
Good
Ajaypal
evening, sir.
Singh.
I am feeling very happy, sir, today to share our views on this issue. Actually, I was in travel when you called me, and I came to my native place, but I am feeling very happy to share this stage with you. And I am very thankful to you and Father Biban Rodriguez, sir, and Dr. Gulshan, sir, and Madam Chanchan. So on the subject, very important, as Father Biban sir said, that first we should teach our students to be good human and to serve the society, and not only to make the money. Then they can do the well in their future for the society. And skilling is very important for our students, because government is focusing on the empowering. Empowering means to earn the money. To earn money, they should have skill education. Skill education, especially in Gado Hills, will improve the condition of women candidates. And on 8th March every year, we are celebrating International Women Day. And that day, we are always focusing on the empowering the women and training the women, or teaching, educating the women means to develop the whole family, and it will improve the condition of family. Family means the total society will change. So, and especially as Father has said that in Garo Hills there is a problem, especially in Meghalaya. Not more focus of government has been on Garo, as in the Shillong and other areas is more important focus. So there should be, and most of the leaders and other prominent personalities are from Garo Hills. So they are developing themselves, but not caring for the area or the region in which they are actually doing. So our focus should be to communicate ourselves and make a meeting, and in that meeting we will share our views on skilling there are so many programs such as PMKVY programs are also introducing, and IGNU is also imparting vocational education, and our government new education policy 2020 is also has focused that there should be a subject, and not only skill education, but it should also focus on empowering totally, so that they should not run away on the path of searching the job. They should be jobs, not should be job seeker. They should be job producer. And that can be done only with our efforts, and we shall try our best. We will share ourselves, and this is a very good program, and I will extend my good wishes, and I will be there to deal with all yourselves. Thank you so much, sir.
I just want to ask you a question. What
Sir.
are the skills that are being taught at your institute?
Sir, nowadays there are so many sectors. Actually, service sectors, tourism sectors. Sectors have been defined by the government skill ministry, and in our institute in Tura, actually for only apparel sector we are giving the training, and IT sector we are giving the training, and there are so many sectors in which our trades are not operating, such as catering and hospitality. Earlier there was, but now it is closed. And soil testing, travel and tourism sectors were there, but they are not operating. And our government is not having focus on that the trainees in that area, at least they will learn from that industry, or that sector may get the job, because service industry is having no more infrastructure or requirement, but producing more and more jobs. Because tourism industry, we have to not spend more money, but the trainees, when they are trained, they will get suitable employment. As Father Bivan sir said that after doing the MBA, someone is getting 10,000 and 20,000 per month, but our skill trained person is getting 10,000, then they are getting 20,000 or 30,000. But with the little investment and with little education, or even the school drops are going to be good, and adding the values to the society, that is more important, because more and more focus is on the education, and that education will not improve the condition of the society. So condition of the society will improve only when the people from the downtrodden, and especially from women categories, there are little educated women in an area of Garo Hills. If they are fully employable, or they are doing their best, they will certainly add the values as well as the development to the region. So there are presently we are giving focus only on apparel sector and computer IT sector, but we hope that in future we will also go on service industry, travel tourism, as well as in catering and hospitality sector, nursing, because in COVID situation, a number of skill trained persons have maintenance of oxygen plant and oximeters, etc., and they are having a good employability and soft skills. They can do the well care and treatment of the persons, even by making the small investment in mask making. They have earned a lot of money. So we are going to focus on that, sir.
Can I add
Thank you, Mr. Ajay Pal Singh.
Thank you so much, sir.
Can I just
Go ahead, Father.
What
Go ahead.
Mr. Ajay have just said?
Yeah, sure.
Looking at Tura, the scenario of Tura, we realize that a carpenter or a plumber is earning much more than a teacher in some private schools. Right? Because,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a carpenter or a plumber is earning almost 800 rupees for the work, the whole day work, while a teacher may earn only 400 or less than that. I mean, I'm talking.
And sir, often they are not available. Services of plumbers are not available in time. So because this is the urgent need, and carpenter is important, plumber is important, turner is important, but they are not available there. Even the supply contractor masons are not available there for our building maintenance. If we train them in that area, skill area, they can do well and can earn more for their future.
That's right, Mr. Ajay Pal Singh.
Thank you so much.
I think the issues you've raised are very correct. I hope there's some corrective measures taken soon so that the skills you mentioned that are not being taught should be brought in, especially in
Thank
the
you, sir.
service sector.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. I'd like to return to Madam Chanchan. Are you there? Hello.
Oh, sir, I'm present. I'm here, sir.
Yeah. You heard the two gentlemen speak about skills, especially with
Yeah.
women. Would you like to add a little more just now?
I would like to add more in the context of Manipur, like in a general sense. Manipur, of course, the education literacy rate of Manipur has increased. Still coming back to the women, coming back to women, it has increased, and here we have a lot of students who wants to pursue higher education. But the problem is we have a very limited institution. For example, the only central university present in Manipur is our Manipur University. It is the only central university present in Manipur. And of course, there is another state university, DM University, Dhanamanjari University, which has recently been inaugurated, established. And in the private university, yes, there are many emerging private universities, but among them our Birthiken Richard University, which is recently established in 2020, is also one of them. But the amount of the number of students who wants to pursue higher education starting from college onwards, it outnumbers the institutions available in the state. So they find it very hard to accommodate all the students. So what most of the students, they plan to, go abroad, abroad in the sense out of the state to pursue their education. And well, I can say that, a very significant number of students present in Manipur, they are pursuing their studies out of the state in the rest of the northeastern states, and particularly in the northern states and southern states like Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai. So what we need to take up to promote education, to empower the youth, is through education only. And for that, the government had to take into consideration the necessity, the inevitable need to, build up or establish an institution, the institutions that can accommodate, the number of students proportionate to the number of students, present in the state. At the same time, what is problematic is the infrastructure wise, there is some lag. I will be honest, there is lack of infrastructure. At the same time, problem with yes, for a science student, as far as they are concerned, they express their discontentment with the practical aspect of their research, or say their studies. So I think the government and the authority needs to take into consideration the problems, the challenges the students are facing. That should be their main concern here. I don't mean to say that we are lacking behind in many things in our institution, whether it be in Manipur University or any other institutions present here. They are doing their best and they are providing the best they can, but still, there is always room for improvement. There is always room for improvement, and that is where the authority concerned or the government should keep into mind, should focus, should emphasize on developing it. So I think education wise, but and also one thing, these I'm talking about the students who are willing to pursue higher education, but there is again certain problem, like students pursuing higher education also needs support from their parents, from their family. This is a practical, problem that we have in our society. Maybe we are a developing state with increasing literacy rate, but in a significant number of families, there is a significant number of cases where they don't get proper support from the family. For example, for mainly, particularly we the women. I will narrate a story here. I think I still have time for that. Like one day, there were still people in, we were having a talk on education, and there were some people who said that, educating women, or providing provide giving job, if when a parents are to give job, either to the condition arise, either the job is given to the son or the daughter. Then there they said that, we daughters are not that reliable, because if we give the job to these daughters, they will take the job along with her in in the family that she will be setting up, after marriage. The job and the daughter will not remain with the parents. As a daughter at that moment, I flashbacks came into my mind, like the sacrifices made by our parents to bring us up, to make us who we are right now. The sacrifice that they had to go through, that they had to make. But their comments made me think, like, are we the daughters not that reliable? Like, why are they thinking like this? Why are they accepting the generalization that we who cannot take proper care of their parents? Like, it is the sole responsibility on the for the son to take care of their parents. The problem here is not giving the job to son or daughter, but the concept that they have in their mind that the daughters are not that important. And there is also saying in Manipuri, like kharatamadi yare, matlab, like they say that as they are girls, they have studied this up till this college, up till intermediate or college. This is more than enough. Or say graduation, so the or post graduation, this is more than enough. you know uh, this is very, I don't know what to say, but this is very disheartening as a girl, as a daughter. Like, why are we not, we are being treated as, as a substitute in one sense. These kind of a significant number of such people also exist. And also there are many instances like this, and that is why, what I want to say is, the parents, the people here, the people, they should not be stingy in educating women, in educating their daughters. And we should, we should not accept the, generalization, especially we women, we daughters should raise a voice that we do not accept this generalization, that we are not reliable, and we should not be substituted. We should not be treated just as a substitute. I'm very lucky that, my parents are very, what is it, supportive. They don't have any difference between girls and boys. Like, what they teach us is, we are three siblings, a brother and two sisters. So what they teach us all the time is educate yourself first, make yourself strong, empower yourself, make yourself strong enough to stand on your own feet. After that, everything will fall in line. That is what they teaches us. And I want, every family, I'm very lucky in that sense. So I want to promote this idea, um, that is, not to have, of course, we all know about gender equality. And Swami Vivekananda also says that, a bird cannot fly with just one wing. So like that, while even I'm very proud of the Indian government that Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign has been started, and this is influencing a lot in the society of Manipur, in Manipur also. For that reason only, the literacy rate is increasing, and the want of, or the desire of girls to pursue their education with all the awareness given around, they have built up the desire to uh, educate themselves to attend schools, colleges, and pursue higher studies. So what I want to say here is, while imparting knowledge, or while providing the opportunity to educate yourself, it should, or both boys and girls should be treated equally. They should,
Excellent.
there
Yeah.
should be gender disparity. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
I think the points you raised are very correct, and fortunately, there are not too many people with a negative mindsets anymore.
That's true.
Things are changing all over in Indian society. It's a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
slow, but it's happening,
yeah. In a
and the
transition period,
transformation
yeah,
is taking place. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
transition period, yeah.
uh, is Dr. Gulshan? Are you there,
I'm there.
Dr.
I'm there.
Gulshan?
I'm very much there.
Yeah, wonderful,
Thank you.
doctor.
Thank you.
I like your observations, doctor.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, it's a pleasure to hear Father. It's a pleasure to hear Ajaypalji. It's really indeed a great pleasure to hear representing women, that is Chanchan. I wish to make few submissions over here before we close today's session. And that is my long 49 years association with Northeast part of India, because I wore the uniform for the first time of the armed forces and got my first salary from the Northeast. And I look back at 1973. So certain suggestions which come right from my soul, I would like to share. Number one, what Father made a mention about skills and a value-based education, and thereafter Ajaypalji's view. I would like to make a humble request that tourism is in think natural way as far as Northeast is concerned. It should be a subject which should be taken in totality as an integral part of education. I am not branding over here adventure tourism, soft adventure, nature tourism, ecotourism, rural tourism, wildlife tourism, cultural tourism, cuisine tourism, whatever you want to call it, fair and festival tourism, whatever you want to call it, but tourism should be integral part of the entire ecosystem. Secondly, children are born with the natural talent in Northeast part of India, which I have observed. Media entertainment industry plays a very important role. Radio, television, theater, music, films, animation, digital, technology, all should be brought in an integral way where we should support and we should bring media entertainment industry full throttle as far as Northeast is concerned. And why not Meghalaya should take lead? Manipur has just completed 50 years. They are doing golden jubilee of their entertainment industry, their film tourism. Why can't we think of Meghalaya? Can you think of how much infrastructure, how much employment, how many jobs, how many startups, how many entrepreneurs, what all wonders can be done, because children are natural way talented. You have not to infuse anything in them. We will just take the credit as a teacher. We have done wonders, but children are already having talent. Let's explore that particular talent. Now, finally, I've got few suggestions. I wish to share one slide with all of you. Once again, we might have missed in between. If you look at this slide very well, our chamber is organizing International Virtual Conference 2022 because teachers are burnt out. Children, they have been very kind to tolerate all these years for us for last 2 years during this pandemic. mental health, mental challenges, mental wellness, mental fatigue, and mental burnt out. All that has to be taken into consideration. We are getting 50 top speakers from the world. It's a 7-hour program starting in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, and it will be till 9 o'clock because we have to take on different continents, different countries, different time zone. People will be joining us from world over. I would appreciate, let us spread this message widely and let more and more teachers and let more and more children participate. And that day on 4th, that is Friday, we would like to give away some prizes, some gifts, some cash prizes, some scholarships, and so many things we can distribute. We want children to participate. We want teachers to participate. And particularly our B.Ed courses, final year students, they should participate before they become teacher. They should understand how much efforts have been put in by teachers during this pandemic is my request. Coming next, 8th of March, it's International Women's Day. This year, the theme given by United Nations is Gender Equality Today for Sustainable Tomorrow. Gender Equality Today for Sustainable Tomorrow. Why not, Mr. Tyrone, spread a wide awakening message? If India is celebrating 75 years of independence, let's get 75 women folk together in a program, 7 to 8 hours, give 2 to 3 minutes to every child. Let them speak and let them express their views. 75, when the girls or the women, they come together on a platform, you become news from northeast part of India, that 75 girls and ladies and children and students and teachers on the International Women's Day together, that will get you a very good opening from northeast, because you have to do something out of the box. Everybody is doing a lot of programs. What is the USP? And finally, I would like to make a recommendation. 15th of August, India's Independence Day. Let's get 75 teachers together, educators together, counselors together. Let's get every Tom, Dick and Harry, whoever is in education ecosystem, together on a common platform after Prime Minister's speech and program at Red Fort in Delhi. Let us start 4 hours program. I calculated, if we give 3 minutes to everybody, total calculation 225 minutes. We can finish the whole program in 4 hours. 75 years, India's independence, Northeast, bringing 75 educators together with Mr. Tyrone on the program, you become news. Otherwise, these kind of webinars are happening every day. They will keep happening. Major Dr. Gulshan Sharma will keep increasing his knowledge. I will keep getting the wisdom from everybody, but it has to be turned into reality. It has to be turned into somewhere result oriented. And finally, last, all B.Ed students, this is a message in entire Northeast India. You all speak beautiful English. You all speak good language. There are lots of countries, I don't want to name them because that will not be good on my part. They are very good at hospitality. They are very good at tourism. They have got very good attractions. But the problem is communication. Communication, they cannot communicate. Why not young boys and girls from Northeast think about world over, population is aging. Children are not being produced. We are very good at that in India. Fertility rate is also very good. I wish to share with all of you, if we have got young population, if we have got young boys and girls, why not they should go on a short-term teaching, counseling, caring, wellness, any name you can give it, they should go abroad on an assignment for 2 to 3 years. our chamber will support that program. We will give you the direction, dedication, and the right people across. But we got to get up, we got to start, and we got to move on. And initially it was me and Tyrone alone, and then the people came, and slowly and gradually from platoon it became company, company to brigade, brigade to command, command to army, and now we got to march. That is the way we have to take it on. All of us together, let us work it out. I have told you, 4th of March, that is mental wellness, 2 o'clock to 9 p.m. Let's get more and more participation. Everywhere the Northeast should be seen. 8th of March, International Women Day, and 15th of August, India's Independence Day. With these words, my deep gratitudes and thanks to Father, my great thanks to Ajay Palji, and my great regards to Chanchan Met, and of course, leftover regards to Mr. Tyrone, whatsoever is there, because he is my buddy and we are together. He is a civilian soldier in civil clothes, and I'm a soldier in uniform. Both belong to Territorial Army, and we would like to do the best for the country. Whatsoever we can move on. Thank you very much for joining us today. It was wonderful to go to 8 beautiful states, 45 million plus people in the Northeast part of India. The last word from Mr. Tyrone, otherwise he would say, I didn't give him opportunity. Last word from your side.
I think the 3 events you spoke about, I think we should work on those 3 events. The 4th, the 8th, and the 15th of August. We must work on that. Excellent initiative.
All 3 speakers, those have come today, Chanchan should work for the women. Father should help us out for 15th of August. And Ajay Paulji, tourism has got a tremendous potential. Your skills when you're talking about, I am telling you on the global platform today, you take initiative. I am ready to get you the complete Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana in Tura for media entertainment, for wellness sector skill council. You take initiative. I am ready to get you. The people will reach you all the way to Tura. I'm ready to help you out. My chamber will help you because I am associated with a lot of advisory boards. We will help you out.
I will do it, sir. Surely I will do it, sir.
Sir, if you come live, then I will. When you come live with the camera, then only I'll feel that you have made a commitment. Otherwise, behind the camera, a lot of people make commitments. Yeah.
I am
now,
there, sir.
Let us do it. Let us do it. Let us do it.
Yeah,
I will do it. Surely, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless all of us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Chanchan, Mr. Father Mukim, and Ajay Pal Singh, and Dr. Gulshan.